This is a 48 volts 10 amperes power supply. This is a switch mode power supply. This is the listing here from Aliexpress. Cost about $17. It's listed for use for lighting, LED, strip, CCTV. But I think it's good enough for use for amplifiers. You get about free shipping for the price. During sale, it's possible to get this for very cheap price. During sale, you will be able to get this at around $10 with free shipping. This is the inside of the power supply. It's pretty easy to open the power supply. You only need to remove these two screws here, and the top cover can be lifted up. You have a small fan here. It's connected to this connector here. Okay, that's the weight of the power supply. It's about 683 grams. This is the input side of the power supply here, where the mains voltage comes in. We have a 1 NTC here, and we have the fuse, and the yellow capacitor is the X capacitor, the blue one is the Y capacitor, and we have some space there for the MOB. The MOB is missing, it's not installed. We have a bleeder resistor, and we have one common mode choke. After that goes to the bridge rectifier. We have a mains voltage selection here for 220 and 110. This is our volt capacitor. It's a 680 UF, 250 volt, 105 degrees. We have our two switcher here for the primary to drive the transformer. That's the control IC KA7500. This is our output voltage rectifier here for the secondary, and the output is filtered by, it goes to this choke first and is filtered by this 3 capacitor. It's 1000 UF, 63 volt, 3 of them. There's a potentiometer here to adjust the output of the voltage, to adjust the voltage output of the power supply. you're gonna see that we'll check later the minimum output voltage and the maximum. I couldn't see any thermocouple installed anywhere. So the fan probably just turns on all the time. The power supply is now hooked up to the electronic load. It's the output 38.5. It's now connected to our AC power source. The idle power draw is about 7 to 8 watts, 7.8. Our input voltage is 230 volts, 50 hertz. We have a current limiter of 4.4 amps. That's about 1000, around 1000 watts limit. With no load, the ripple is around 38 to 40 millivolt peak to peak. As you can see it here, this is our ripple here. It's about 40 volt peak to peak. And it's jumping around. That's about our room temperature, about 16 degrees centigrade. Currently, this is the output of the power supply, 48.5 volts. Let's adjust the voltage output to see what is the minimum and the maximum voltage output. Okay, that's the minimum voltage output of the power supply, about 44.8 volts. That is the maximum voltage output of the power supply, 64 volts. I'll set it back again to 48 volts. That's the minimum. It was able to go down as low as 44 volts. Okay, that's 48 volts. Now we're gonna test if it will be able to deliver 10 amperes. It's rated 480 watts. By the way, the fan is not temperature controlled and it's always on. 1 ampere. It's rated for 10 amperes. It turned off at 9 amperes. It turned off again at 9 amperes. Let's turn off the load. The power supply has turned on again after we remove the load. So let's see, let's adjust it to 8 amperes. Okay, that's 8 amperes. Eight 8.1, 8.2, 0.3. Forgot to turn on the load. Let's turn it on first. Okay, 2 amperes, 3, 4, 8 amperes, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Okay, so it turned off at 8.6. Turned off at 8.6. Turned off at 8.6 amperes. Turn the electronic load off. Okay, the power supply has turned on again. Okay, so that's 8 amperes. It looks like this is only good for 8 amperes continuous. So adjust the output to 48 volts. I'm gonna use this to power the amplifier. The amplifier needs about 50 volts. I'm gonna set it at 50 volts. Eight amperes at 50 volts. 400 watts, 50 volts. Looks good. Output power is about 400 watts and it's pulling about 455 watts at the AC source. Power draw AC source 455. Load is 400 watts. So efficiency is equals to 400 divided 455. So 400 divide 455. It's about 88% efficient. So this is the efficiency of the power supply, 88% at 50 volts output at 8 amperes load. The idle current draw is about 7.8 to 8 watts. Now let's look at the ripple. Okay, this is the ripple of the power supply. Around 260 millivolt peak to peak. I got this power supply to test this amplifier. This TPA 3255. 18 to 48 volts. I think that TPA 3255 can take up to 50 volts. Okay, that's it for today. Please subscribe. See you next time. Four volts out. Idle power 10 watts. No load ripple about 30 volt peak to peak. Ripple 100 millivolt, 1 amp load. Shut off at 8.6 amp. Output power cannot maintain 8.5 amps, so just set it to 8 amps. Start. $576 watts. 514. Wow, look at the ripple, it's going crazy. Yeah, that's the ripple. 1.2 plus, 1.2 volt peak to peak. Output is stable at 64 volts. The ripple is stabilized at 1 volt peak to peak. Ripple efficiency 514 divide 576, 89%. Ripple 1.2, jumping about around 1 volt to 1.2, 1.3 volt peak to peak.